Welcome back to Emotional Mojo. This is such a great story. When her business was floundering, our next guest went straight to the top to ask for help. She wrote to the president, and now she is helping to empower women to create the life they deserve. Welcome, author and entrepreneur, Beate Chelette. Thank you so much for coming in.
Well, thank you for having me. I think we're going to have a blast.
Yeah, I know. Well, we wanted you here because your story is so amazing. But what is this letter to President Bush that turned your life around? What happened?
Well, you know, I got really desperate because I was so behind and things were so bad and I had faced so much adversity. I really had nothing to lose. So I wrote a letter to the President of the United States. Why not?
What did the
letter say? Right, the only I mean, you don't know. It's going to be a no until you do it, right?
Well, I said that, you know, I had lost my business in September 11th because when the planes hit the towers, so went my business right with it. In 24 hours, I lost $500,000 of my production volume.
What was your business?
It
was a still photography production business in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And then nobody went on a plane flying to Los Angeles anymore. And so I got so desperate because it was so behind, so I wrote a letter and it said, you always say that the small business is the backbone of the American economy. I'm going to give you a real-life opportunity to prove that what you say is the truth. And I did get a letter from the White House.
And what did it say?
The president is delighted to hear from you.
But how did that help you turn things around? Why was that so inspirational for you?
Because what it did, it says, here is the contact to the Small Business Administration, Mr. Lorenzo Flores, Deputy Chief Director, who is a great man. And I went with my business plan and with my portfolio, and I had a meeting, and he helped me restructure the business plan, and I got the loan, and I turned you know, I restructured my debt. I became break even in 3 months, and 18 months later, I was able to sell my business for millions of dollars.
Wow. Can we talk about who you sold the business to for millions of dollars?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. There's something amazing about you and what you do. If Mr. Bill Gates is interested in your business, what can we and viewers at home take away from that? You say there's a way of thinking called the Women's Code. What is that all about?
Well, the Women's Code really is about shifting our thinking because, you know, what I really like about you, and I'm just going to say this, is, you know, you're so nice and cordial with each other. It looks like you're really collaborating. And I found that there's a very, very little information out there for women on how to be successful, have a family, wanting to look good, and because it's so much. So I wanted to create a code for women that says, hey, here's how we can work with each other. Here's how we can help each other to feel good, look good. Here's how we can support each other.
Instead of the backstabbing and the cattiness and that women tend to do.
Exactly.
Why do you think women do that to each other? Why are we so catty and competitive with one another?
It's a very simple thing. Back in the old days, like back then, when men went hunting, right?
Right.
They needed each other and they picked the best guy for each of the jobs. They didn't care if they liked each other. We were left at home worried and hovering over what we had. So we took this mindset forward and we still hovering over what we have in fear.
So it's a protective instinct.
Exactly. And so when we shift our thinking away from what does she have that I don't have to what is she bringing to the table that I don't know yet, then all of a sudden everything changes and it becomes so much easier to have fun with each other.
You know, we talk about shifting thinking all the time and reframing and changing your perspective. Wouldn't it be awesome if every woman would change our perspective and lift each other up?
Yeah.
That's just pretty amazing.
Absolutely, but I think it's happening. I really do feel that there's a new vibe of community amongst women, and women are tired of being portrayed as cattiness and ditchy women. We want to be taken seriously.
And so your book is Happy Woman, Happy World. Let's talk a little bit about that because you say there are 7 steps to make your career happen right now. Maybe we can go through a couple of these. And one of the big ones, you have plan and execute, but the one I really like is number 2, which is to find support. Why is that so important?
Because women often get into this mindset that we are so caught up in what we have to do, and we got to get up, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this. And because there's so much pressure, we feel that if we just do it ourselves, it gets done right, it gets done, at least it gets done. So we forget to enlist help. But what happens is when we let others assist us, is that all of a sudden everything opens up. You know, it's like the heart space.
Accept it,
yes.
the help.
Well, and we are so guilty of that as women. It's like we try to do it all ourselves, and it's brilliant.
And then you also have step 3 is to orient yourself upward. What does that mean?
Well, it's so easy to say, well, I'm where I am at, but you know, so-and-so is doing worse than I am. But I find that I always wanted to know who has figured out something that I haven't figured out yet. We can always improve. So if I have a great friend who's been married for 25 years and they're happy as they can be, I haven't quite figured that out yet. So
You learn from them.
So I look at that and I'm going like, what does she do? How does she do it? What does she, you know, what is that I haven't figured out yet? So I want to orient myself to towards someone who has figured something out that I haven't figured out yet.
And then you say, invest time or money, stay inspired, we're big on that one, know when to stay put, change, move on, and to make it about people. So if you guys want the details on those steps, you can get them in the book. Again, let's show it to them. Happy Woman, Happy World. And Beate, if they want to learn more, where can they go?
They can go to the website, thewomenscode.com, and everybody can take the 3-minute balance test to find out if you're in or out of balance. It's very quick. It's the women's.
I think I know the answer.
Well, you'll actually find out where you are in or out of balance, or you can get the book on Amazon or on iTunes.
Awesome.